Hi everyone, this is Catapult, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough on how to set up a backup pool. The reason why you would need to set up a backup pool is in cases where the primary mining pool that you use goes under DDoS attack, or if the server crashes or whatever else. By setting up a backup pool, your miner will automatically switch to the backup. That way you don't lose time mining and your video card is not just wasted sitting there idle. So the first step is we're going to register an account at Bitcoinpool.com. The reason I choose that as my backup is they have an optional fee that you can set between 0% all the way up to 10%. And you can also adjust the payout limit. So I set mine very low, so that way I don't have to mine for very long there to get a payout. So even if I just spend a few hours or something, you know, sometimes I'll just collect 0.02, 0.03 bitcoins, whatever. The server takes care of all that for me. So we're going to open the Bitcoinpool.com website, and from that website you have a nice how-to. If you followed my first video, you already did the first steps here. The first step is to install the Bitcoin client from bitcoin.org, which looks like this, and this we did in the first video. The second step is to download the Phoenix miner, which we also did in the first video. And the third step is to create a mining account by visiting the new user sign up page. This is what we're going to do today. You have the terms and conditions here. Suggest you read through them and can go through their FAQ if you'd like. Mining hardware, I'll be using a GPU. The username I'll be using for this is Catapult BTC, and the wallet ID. Again, I went in, selected copy to clipboard, and pasted it in here. If you want, you can use different addresses for each of your pools. That doesn't really matter. And then you're gonna select a password. This one I suggest you use a strong password. And you have a nice little reCAPTCHA in the bottom here. Alright, this brings you to the setup page. So in the settings you have the payment threshold, which is at what point will the server send you your bitcoins. You can select an email address, and you can have notifications on account changes, block solves, or payments. Miner idle warnings, you can get warnings also by email if your miner goes either idle or less than whatever megahash per second. And in the donation, you can choose whatever you feel comfortable with. And here is a really nice thing that you can set up a miner password to be used instead of your account password with miners. So this one, it doesn't have to be. very secure at all, so just use Catapult for now. And here we go. So if we go back to the list here, to register is done. Second part is to create a .bat file for the Phoenix miner to connect to Bitcoinpool. So we're going to minimize all of this and go in the Phoenix folder that we created in the first video. You should already have a Eligius bat file. So the same thing as the previous time, new text document, and we're going to call it Phoenix Bitcoinpool.bat. Yes. Then we're going to edit it. Again, I recommend setting up a title for it. Yep. And all right. Here we go. We're going to select the list that they have here. So it asks for your username and your password. Save and you close. So we set it up a .bat file for the Phoenix miner to connect to Bitcoinpool. Now the third step, and this is how you will configure which of the pools is your primary and which is your backup. We're going to configure the Eligius and Bitcoinpool batch files with the aggression variables. So I am going to open both in edit. Here we go. And you'll see at the end here you have aggression equals 7, which on my video card allows me to use the computer at the same time as I mine. If you put both as aggression 7, then both of them are going to run at the same speed. If you want the Eligius pool to be your primary, then you are going to set your aggression to 7 here, and in the Bitcoinpool.bat you're going to select a lower value, like 3 for example. And now I'm going to switch to my primary computer, and I'm going to show you a few examples. Alright, so we switched to the good computer. With the Phoenix script here, I have the Bitcoinpool set at aggression 3 and the Eligius pool set at aggression 7. So let's run the Eligius pool, which is going to be the primary pool. It has the highest aggression. And we'll also run the Bitcoinpool. You'll notice here that the Eligius pool goes to around 220-ish megahash per second, while the Bitcoin pool is quite slower at 14.5. The reason for that is the aggression flag. If we put it back at aggression 7 and restart the Bitcoinpool, you'll see that very quickly both of them should equalize to around, I think, 120-ish. Yep. Yeah, about that. 119 mega hash per second. So in this method, you mine with both pools the same way. But what I recommend is have one set as your primary pool, which I use Eligius, and then use the Bitcoinpool with aggression 7 as your backup. That way, when the Eligius pool is on, the majority of the work you do will be sent to the Eligius pool. And if something happens to the Eligius pool, let me just close this for you. You'll see that very quickly the other one compensates and starts going faster. Alright, so we configured the batch files, and this completes our walkthrough. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this was useful. And if you manage to make a profit out of this, I would appreciate any donations. Have a great day.